From the starting point line, I came down by 1.5 inches on my shoulder slope, and I will go ahead to connect it. And I labeled it here shoulder slope. So now I'm going to go ahead to go to the starting point line and we're marking our shoulder depth and shoulder width. So for shoulder depth and width, we're going using the basics. This is for the back bodice. This is 3 inches by 1 inches. So I went ahead to mark my 3 inches by 1 and I'll go ahead to connect them. So to complete the rest of the shoulder measurement, you should divide it by 2. So place your tape at that 3 inches mark, which is the shoulder width that we just marked, and then tilt your tape downwards to complete the rest of your measurements. That's a shoulder divided by 2 inches. So make sure that the main measurement is lying on the shoulder slope and then connect it to the tip of your shoulder width. So now we're going to go ahead to mark our armhole depth. For the armhole depth, we're going to be using our bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So calculate it and then from your shoulder slope line, measure downwards to get your armhole depth. And I want her to connect that with a straight line. So we're going to be marking our across back, which is going to be a guide to get a perfect armhole curve. So for across back, what you do is your shoulder minus 1 divided by 2 inches. Shoulder minus 1 divided by 2 inches. So I want her to place it round so I can connect them together to have a straight line here. It's going to be a guide for our armhole curve. So connect it just as shown. And then we're going to just measure at the midpoint to make it easier. So tilt your tape into 2, fold it into 2, and then connect it. This is going to be the actual across back. That is my XP. So I'm going to go ahead to place my bust circumference. Your bust divided by 4, and then place it at that armhole depth, which automatically becomes your bust line. So with my curve ruler, I'm going to go ahead to curve out to get my armhole curve we get. So place your French curve and connect to get your armhole curve just as shown. So we're going to go ahead to complete the rest of the measurements, which is going to be our half length. So from your shoulder, measure your half length and connect them together. So this is my half length. So at the half length, we're going to measure our waist circumference divided by 4. So you mark your waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches. 1 inch is going to be for our back slope and 1 inch is going to be for our dart to get. So just mark your waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches and connect it to your bust circumference, your bust line. So now I'm going to go ahead to take it out. So I'm going to mark out 1 inches first for our shoulder slope, and then I'm going to slope it upward to meet the neck depth just as shown. And then we're going to place in our bust circumference, our bust band divided by 2. So for the back, I like adding plus 0.5 inches so that it will not be close to the shoulder slope. And then you mark your bust band. At each side, I'm going to be marking out 0.5 inches. But first of all, let's extend it upward so to get the straight line first. So this is it. So now we're going to be coming down by 1 inches. That's going to be where the bust that is going to end, the waist that is going to end. And then we'll have half inches on both sides and connect it to that tape. So automatically here we go. I will remove the 2 inches that we added extra to our waist circumference. If you have any question, do it drop in the comment section and attend to all my questions if it gets confusing. But I hope it is well explained. So from the waistline, I'm going to measure to get our hip length. So from the waistline, mark your hip length and connect them by a straight line. And to this line, I'm going to be placing our hip circumference measurement to get So try to label, and that is my half length HL, my bust line BL, or my armhole line AL. Then we're going to be placing our hip divided by 4. Connect it to the half length. Then after you have done marking it, I'm going to use my curve ruler here from the waist circumference to the hip. I want to to connect it to get, and then I'm going to slant in this my back slope to the hip line, just as shown. So from the half length, I'm going to measure to get the full length of my gown. From the half length measurement, so I brought, you can see this is the hip line that we measured, that we had earlier. So I'm going to measure the full length, and I'm going to bring back the same measurement I have on my hip line downwards. So the hip line to the full length is the same measurement. I'm still going to go ahead to do my contouring to give it a shaping later I get. So first of all, just mark that, and I made that to label it SB, meaning our side back, and SCP, meaning our center back. And for the side back, I went in by 0.75 to tighten it, and for the CB, I went inwards by 1 inches to get. This is to give it the shaping at the lower back. For the front bodice, I want to head to mark 3 by 3 inches, that's 3 inches width and 3 inches depth for the neck area, and I'm going ahead to square it up. For the back body, so coming back to it later. So from that 3 inches, I'm going to divide the remaining part of my shoulder by 2. So 3 inches, and I tilted my tape downward just as I did for the back, and I mark the remaining measurement from my shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then I'm going to go ahead to mark my armhole. That's the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. I went ahead to mark it and I squared it out. And this becomes my bust line or my armhole line. So to get the rest of the measurements, I'm going to head to get my bust points and my half length. So I place my bust point and I place the half length measurement, just as shown. That's bust points, under bust, and half length, I mean to say. So first is my BP, the 3 bust points, and then my under bust as well as the half length HL. So I'm going to mark my bust span divided by 2. I mark that I'm using, for mine is 6 inches divided by 2, that's 3 inches. Just connect it all the way to the bust point line. So for the half length, I'm going to be, for the bust line, I'm going to be dividing my bust by 4 and then place it at the half length area. And to get my armhole cover, I want to head to mark 2 inches above my bust line and my armhole line. That's called my chest line. You can call that my across front. So here I'm going to be placing a measurement to get the armhole curve for the back. So just to get the armhole curve for the front, so just as you did for the back, for the across back, the measurement for the chest line, if you didn't have it, the measurement taken on your client is to get your shoulder minus 2 divided by 2 inches. So I place that there and I connect it to the tip of my shoulder, and I brought it down straight down as a guide to get my armhole curve. Just connect it straight down, and then to get the curve, I'll be making a depth of at least 1.5 inches. That can be a guide to you, or else you can just place your French curve at the 3 dots. That's your bust line measurement, the chest line, as well as the tip of the shoulder. Just connect it to have your perfect armhole curve, just as shown. And then we can proceed to the rest of the measurements. At the half length, which is our waist, we're going to marking our waist circumference divided by 4 plus an extra inches for the waist dart. So connect it to the tip, to the bust line, that's the bust circumference measurement. And by the side of the dart, I went outward by half inches on both sides, and I connected it 1 inches below the 2 bust points. So we're going to marking the difference between our front bodice and the back bodice. So here I have 2 inches. So mark it and then connect it to the bust point. So now we are done with the upper bodies of the front, and then we're going to proceed to the hip measurements. I want to head to mark my hip line, placing my hip circumference divided by 4 on that line. And for the bust span, I'm going to be bringing down, the bust span is 6 inches divided by 2, and I'm going to be placing that to bring down the bust, the waist down, just as we did here. But for the hip line, I went upward by 3 inches and connected the waist down to it. So for the rest of the measurements, I brought down the bust span all the way to the full length of the gown and place the hip circumference on the hip on the full length, and then I went upward by 1.5 inches to shaping the lower part. So for the back, I extended the bust dart just as shown. On the hip line, I went up by 3 inches and connected it to the waist to take out or complete the darts for the back. So I wanted to do my labeling as SF for side front and CF for center front. For the princess dart, I placed my French curl from the bust point all the way to the elbow area to get my princess dot line, and I blended that any point edge around that area. So to cover the bust dart, I went ahead to slash it open towards the bust slat, and I'll be folding this inward just as shown, and I'm using my silver tape to hold it in place. Now we can go ahead to do the cutting of the remaining parts. So I'll be separating the front bodies from the back bodies now. So I'll be cutting from this side, and then we can just do the entire cutting. So I'm going to be altering this from the tip of the shoulder. I went in by 1 inch because it's a sleeveless top, and I'm going to connect that. So for the neck, I wanted to make it to be a scallop neck, and I brought it downwards a little. So the depth is now 3.5 inches and the width is now around 5 inches, and I did a tightening of 0.25 on the tape just to tighten up the neck area a bit, and I did the same thing for the back. You get, reduce the shoulder by 1 inch from the tip, and then altered the neck width and neck depth with the neck tightening. So I'm here to do the cutting, and this is what I have left at the shoulder area. And then I went ahead to cut out the back slope. That's the back slope to give it a shape at the back. So this is it, and I'll be slashing this open because it's going to be a princess dart. Cut out the darts, just follow as I do the rest of the cutting. So here I decided to extend the length of the gown, and I've attached a paper to the whole 4 piece. That's 2 for the back and 2 for the front. So just to complete it to the desired length I want. So I just want to extend the full length. So I'll be extending that, and I will show you what I have later. So I want ahead to do my cutting on these jeans fabrics, and this is what I have. So I have 0.5 inches at the center area and all around, apart from the side front. For the side front, I added 1 inches. That is how I also cut out for the back. So half inches all through, and the center front is on fold, and then for the rest is 0.5 inches, and for the side front and the side back I added 1 inches. I want her to cut out and a facing for turning the neck area. Just fold the fabric into 2 places just as seen me do, and trace out the neck curve. This is for the front, around the bit of the shoulder area, and then curve it just as shown. And it's going to be used as an interfacing just to turn the neck area, and I repeated the same thing for the back. So over to the sewing. So this is the back to show you what the back looks like. This is the back, And for the side center back, I added 0.5 inches. That's going to be for my zipper allowance. You can add what is comfortable by you to you. You get just add it inches you're okay with for your zipper, and I also did cut out the facing for it. That is all. So I'm going to go ahead to join the center, the middle area. That's that area. I'm going to go ahead to sew them together for the two sides. Then I'm going to open this up, take out the pin and open it up. But first of all, don't forget to do your notches. That's going to guide you while you're on your sewing machine sewing. So this is what the front bodice is looking like after I'm done sewing it. I've attached it and also torn on the neck area just as you can see. That's how the neck area is, and I've gone ahead to use my sewing machine to weave all the ends. So this is the wrong side. It's how it came out to be. So for the back as well, I've gone ahead to sew it and I've gone ahead to attach my invisible zipper at the mid area. So now I'm left with turning the neck area. So I brought it to show you how I'm going to be doing that. So just open up your zipper just as seen me do. Open it up this way. Make sure that the allowance is showing out. So then place this over and sew it just as shown by half of an inch. Do the same thing for this other side. So I'm going to bring it in the front bodice, place it right facing each other, and then join it at the shoulder area. So for the that line, that's the princess that's all the way to the down area. I went ahead to use a golden thread to make it visible. So you can see I saw the two line stitches using a golden thread at the princess that line all the way to the hem of the front and the back. For this armhole area, I'm going to be folding it in by half of an inch, and I'll go ahead to use a golden thread as well to sew it just to give it a more defined look. I also went ahead to shape the sides by half 1 inch, which is what we added while cutting it out. So I shaped the side by 1 inch, and this is all that we have. For the hem area, I also weaved it and folded it inwards by 0.5 inches, that is half of an inch, and I used a golden thread to run it. So this is how beautiful the gown turned out to be. This is the right side of it, the gown. So please do well to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, that's like, and also share with others. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.